if you had to give one little golden nugget of advice to aspiring authors, what would it be?
Only one? Like, I'm full of nuggets. Can't you tell?
I think you can give as many nuggets as you would like.
Here's the biggest nugget. And if it wasn't obvious from this little interview now, just follow me and watch some of my other stuff and it will be very obvious. Be yourself throughout the process. I was so shocked when after I wrote my table of contents with some words I thought never would get by editorial, they were like, we love it. People will really hear you in this book, and people who are attracted to this are going to be attracted to you. Like, I have a one of my categories, one of my 8 sections is called sales machine / ninja / badass, kind of mocking, like, everyone's like, I'm a sales guru, I'm a sales ninja, I'm a sales whatever I am, right? So it's like, you want to be a machine, ninja, badass, whatever, it's just sales, read it. And I'm thinking for sure they're not going to let that fly. And they're like, we love it. And I think so many of us get caught up in our own heads, worrying about what other people think. If you have a contract to write a book, you have been contracted to write a book because of what you bring to the table. So don't leave yourself out of the writing process. If they want you out, they will tell you that in the first round of editing, and they will tell you what you need to tone down and cut back. For me, for my first 2 sample chapters, I love footnotes. Like, I love footnotes. My sarcasm comes through in those footnotes, and they said, we don't do footnotes. And I'm like, I think I'm going to cry. I'm like, next contract, I'm arguing for my right to have footnotes, whatever it is. But they ended up letting me have like little italicized story bars in the book instead. But be yourself. And the onus is then on editorial to come back to you and say, you know what? We think this may be hysterical, but for our readership and what will sell and be received well, we need you to tweak it like this. They will tell you that. And I'm so freaking glad that I didn't lose my sarcasm, didn't lose my a little bit, like, I'm a no BS person. And I put that in the book, and I was blank, like, if you do this, you will fail, period. And if you're not willing to suck it up, this is not the book for you. I mean, language like that, because that's who I am. And people who like me and want to read what I wrote expect that. So the more and more I put myself in it, the easier it was, the more I laughed at it, because quite frankly, I think I'm hysterical, and, it's really having fun with it, but don't losing sight of you for fear of how it will be judged. Mm-hmm. And I think for any creative endeavor, fiction, nonfiction, painting, performance, whatever it is, I think that's the biggest emotional and mental hurdle we have to get over. So that is my one big nugget is, don't lose your authenticity and your true self in the process. Let someone else be the pushback on that.
I love what you're saying there, Jill, around authenticity. And I just want to touch base on this phrase that writers bat around a whole lot, write what you know. And so I think people get confused on what that means. Okay, I'm a construction worker, so I should write about construction workers. And that's not really what that means. It's really about an emotional authenticity. So whether you're writing a nonfiction book and who you are and your voice needs to come out as Jill did, or whether you're writing nonfiction and you've been through a terrible divorce, you can't then try to write about a happy marriage and not have that divorce color that. You have to write what is your emotional reality. And so I think that phrase, write what you know, can be about an area of expertise about the things of our lives, but more specifically, they're about the authentic emotional experience of who we are. If we're sarcastic, we should be sarcastic. If we're very sort of straight-laced, we should be straight-laced, because that's who we are. And the people who love us love that about us. So